Welcome to the Mycotoxin Prediction forecast brought to you by Biomin, the world leader in mycotoxin management. This week, we will look into the predicted risk for mycotoxin contaminations in European maize. Wet weather and high humidity are critical for infection with toxin-producing fungi during flowering time and continue to be critical for the accumulation of mycotoxins in the crop. By now, crops have already been harvested for most regions, but the very northwestern growing areas. The weather in September was dry and very warm in many areas in Europe. The last 2 weeks of September saw rain returning to Eastern and Central Europe, in particular around the Alps, but with continued little precipitation for England, the Benelux states and western regions of Germany. October so far was much warmer than usual for Central Europe and dry. Throughout Europe, with the exception of the Balkan states, only as little as 3 or 4 rain days were recorded that yielded at least 2 hours worth of rain or more. For the rest of October, the rain forecast predicts rain returning to all growing regions, in particular Central and Northern Europe, with 8 or more rain days in the 15 days period. Based on the current weather forecast, the predicted risk for aflatoxins is highest for countries that experienced hot conditions favorable for growth of the fungal pathogen, in particular Italy, the Balkan states and Turkey. The average risk for harvests to contain aflatoxin concentrations higher than 2 parts per billion is given here as percentage average for major European regions, giving more weight to higher yielding areas. The highest risk is calculated for southern countries, with a predicted chance of 18% of harvests containing aflatoxin concentrations above this threshold. High concentrations of fumonisins are expected in countries with high humidity combined with higher than average temperatures. The predicted chance for harvests contaminated with 500 parts per billion fumonisins or more is highest with 49% in southern European countries. The risk for Central and Eastern European countries is estimated with 28 and 19% respectively. Deoxynivalenol is the most critical mycotoxin for growing regions in Central and Northern Europe. Similar to fumonisins, a dry September and October weather have reduced the overall risk for mycotoxins in some regions in Central Europe, but the overall expected risk remains very high. For Central Europe and Eastern Europe, 60% and 61% of harvests are predicted to contain deoxynivalenol levels above the threshold of 150 parts per billion. Analogous to deoxynivalenol, zearalenone is predominantly produced under cooler conditions. The highest contamination levels are to be expected in northern and eastern Germany and the Czech Republic. The predicted chance for contaminations higher than 50 parts per billion are highest in Central European countries and Northern European countries, with 32 and 27% respectively.